When I'm back in the classroom nowadays and see my colleagues in school who are dashing from one lesson to another, who teach every year from year 7 to 13, there's a lot on their plates. And to be able to revert to what they did last year is a way of coping. It's a survival mechanism. But to have the time to watch somebody else using technology, to doing something differently and seeing it works, opens eyes. It's worth the time.
The real brilliant moment is when some student goes, oh yes, that penny dropping moment is an absolute joy in the classroom. There's a lot of teachers who feel really secure in teaching the maths in the way that they learnt it. But you can overplay that, and nobody these days thinks you should go back to doing calculations with log tables, because the calculators have been around so long now that of course you use a calculator for those things. And I think the next layer of things to go will be at A level, once you've simplified a problem to the point where it's a quadratic equation, then it's a machine's job to solve it. I got very enthusiastic about teaching using investigative methods. That's a great mathematician question, what if? And on your calculator you can find out what if really quickly. Then you come back, well, what if, and what if, and what if? And the calculator will keep up with you as fast as you can ask the questions. It will show you the graphs, and you can really enhance learning with that. I think a lot of teachers have the impression that a graphical calculator is just good in the exam. If you're teaching the calculus, if you can already see the graph, if you can get the calculator to draw the gradient function for you without knowing its equation, and then you can build the links between the graphs you can see and the gradient functions you can see, then you've got a new way in of introducing differentiation. So you could end up establishing the patterns, working with the calculus, and then coming back to look at the underlying algebraic first principles differentiation later. And I think that gives students a confidence in the topic if you can come at the easy stuff first, and the technical algebraic stuff can come in afterwards.
At the start of every lesson, the first thing I do is load up the register and load up some graphing software technology, tell the students to have their calculators ready. Even if in the lesson we might only use the technology once or twice, and often it's a lot more than that, but it's just there. It's a reminder that this is a way of working mathematically, thinking mathematically. So when they are in calculus, when they're asked to find the equation of a tangent, I'm disappointed when they've got an answer and they're ready to move on without having a quick look and thinking, what does this tangent look like? It's not just that I found it and I've checked the back of the book and it's right. It's what is it I've just been asked to find? So being able to do that, I think, is crucial to them getting that bigger picture of what maths is and making sense of their answers. Nowadays, when the students can all have handheld technology, it opens up the possibility of what you can teach.
The new A-level is designed that the aspects of mathematics are not discrete components anymore. They're not separate exams for statistics, mechanics, core, pure, those things. It's interdisciplinary now more than it was so beforehand, and I think that really helps people, students, the community, see actually how maths works.
There are further maths topics where it's essential to have graphing technology. In the future, I would hope that all students know that to work mathematically means to be using technology efficiently.
So there are lots of other resources as well that it's worth looking at with Casio. They have an emulator. When I first started using the CG50 and I was training my students and my staff with it, I would use the emulator. The other thing that I found really helpful is if you look at their videos and their supporting resources as well to help you get started. There's training videos on the website that show you different aspects of the calculator. You can look at it for certain aspect of the curriculum you're looking at. You can also look at it as to whether it is more GCSE or A-level focused that you want to be able to do it with. And it's not just something to use with your staff. I've shared these videos with students as well to help them, because as they are learning and I'm learning and we're doing it together, it's much more powerful and it accelerates the whole process.
So I happened to be in a conference where I came across the graphic calculator, and then when I saw the Casio specialist delivering the training session, I did feel a bit overwhelmed looking at it with all these different buttons. But then I started listening to the different questions they were asking and I thought, I can do the same with my class, with my students. I kind of started seeing all the opportunities that could arise by bringing this device inside the classroom. Following to that, I thought, I can't start it with my lesson, with my whole class yet, because I don't even know how to use it. And that's when I decided to start working with 2 or 3 individuals, students after school, to give me my own time, my own space, and to feel confident myself. And then once I became more familiar, I thought, okay, let's try this now with a class. And I started seeing the impact onto it. I was enjoying my lessons more, the students were enjoying the lessons more as well. And we managed to have more quality lessons. And it wasn't the device itself, but it was me, my own confidence, and my own way of thinking that changed. When I got to see more students being able to access the maths and feel that satisfaction that I feel when I do the maths, that for me is the biggest driver in implementing something like this.
I think it's really important to use technology and all the other resources at your disposal to help your young people to learn maths. And there's a whole strand of learning with technology that it would be a shame for your students not to experience as part of their learning.